What's going on, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can find some really awesome profitable books using BookMine. And to do that, we're just going to use a new feature that Victor and I just added called the profit meter. All right, we're just going to really dive into it. This is BookMine here. And again, the new feature that we added is called the profit meter. And if you want to find some really profitable books, all you have to do is literally just use this profit meter, go, let's say 4 to 7. This is going to bring back books that have a current value significantly below what the book has sold for in the past. And remember that BookMine was just, Victor and I made BookMine to make it easier for people to find profitable books on Amazon. Obviously, you can find profitable books by using Keepa, which is, how I started, and I still teach people how to do that. An amazing way to find books. All BookMine is doing is just trying to take all those books and make it easier for people who have kind of a hard time using Keepa to do that. So with that said, you can see we've got 250 books here that we found. And now all we're going to do is just scroll through the different offers and try to find anything that has a current price well below what it normally sells for. Now, here's a great example of a Keepa graph. And I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this right here so I can do a little bit of painting on it. And so I'm going to edit this in Paint just to kind of show you what we're looking at. All right, so we're super zoomed in here. Basically, what you can see here is that the price today is this right here, okay? We're sitting here at what looks to be like, high 4 or probably high 30s or low 40s, right? And then kind of what we're seeing is that the kind of lowest used prices generally in this area where we have plenty of sales rank drops. And so because we see the current price well below what it looks like the book normally sells at with plenty of these sales rank drops, this is a book that we would definitely want to open up in Keepa and take a look at. So I'm going to go and do that now. You can see that this book just dropped in price actually a couple days ago from $60 down to $36. And again, you can see plenty of sales rank drops where this book was in the 70s and more. And now, obviously, if you kind of expand the historical selling data, you can see that, hey, there have been times in the past as well where we have, sales rank drop at 87, we have a sales rank drop at 80. Of course, there's times also where this book has been lower and has also sold. And so what that means is maybe today isn't the best deal ever, but this is still a book that could be, picked up at a price well below what it has sold for in the past. Now I'm going to keep scrolling down, and again, you're going to see the same theme over and over again, where you see the current price significantly below the used price of this book in the past. Now I'm pretty sure this book is actually a book that's likely to be counterfeit, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that one. Again, we have a book here that's at $23.90, and you can see that this book has been selling in the 40s and 50s pretty consistently in the past. So again, you can see it just dropped down here from $28 down to about $19 plus shipping, but basically this was selling in August for about $50 plus. In May, there's a little bit of a textbook season where it's selling for $60, and also in January. And again, the way that I know how seasonality is just when the sales rank gets really low during those periods of time. And again, just to kind of show you that, in this case, we're looking at the sales rank, which is the green line. And you can see how that sales rank gets really low there, it gets really low there, and it gets kind of really low there. Or at least you see sort of like a U-shaped pattern during those times. You see a cluster, you see a bunch of sales happen between that time. So this is a textbook that actually has a January textbook season, a May textbook season, and also an August textbook season. And this is a book that, is quite good. I mean, you could pick it up pretty low relative to past historical sales. Now we can just keep scrolling down. Here's a book that looks to be awesome. Betting with the Edge. It looks like a horseback racing book. It's currently priced here at $13, and it looks like, again, most of the sales are happening significantly above that. So I'm going to go and take a screenshot of this again and edit this in Paint just so you guys can see. Again, this is kind of the lowest used price. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. So here's the current price. And if we actually look at what this book has been selling for in the past, look, all of those are sales in what looks to be probably the low 30s. These are all sales right around 50. These are all sales north of 50. So you're looking at a book that is significantly below what it has sold for in the past. And again, obviously, you want to go in and actually look at Keepa, look at the Amazon listing. There's other things you want to check out. But again, I just want to show you an easy way to find books that are undervalued using BookMine, which is just using the profit meter. Again, same thing here with this archaeological study Bible. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. Again, we're going to zoom in. It looks like we're currently priced here, which is right at 50. And again, what I'm seeing is, hey, the used price of this book being right under $100 with plenty of sales rank drops. So again, a book that's maybe about half of what it has been historically selling for. Now just keep going down. Again, not every book that we find is going to be a book that you should buy. What we try to do on BookMine is just put you in front of a bunch of amazing books, and then you get to pick and choose which ones you want to buy. There's no way that we could have like every single book on here be an absolute winner. That'd be just completely spoon-fed to you. But this is pretty close to as being spoon-fed as possible. Again, here's another book which is about ceramic glaze handbook, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of this as well. And so again, we can see the current price is right here, which looks to be maybe a little bit above 50, like maybe 55 or so. And we can look at, we have a couple sales here, which are all happening. I guess these sales here at 100. We got some sales here, maybe about 80. We got a sell up there about maybe 140. We've got some sales here, maybe about 80 as well. And then a bunch of sales back here in the 70 range. So again, you're looking at a book significantly below what it has historically sold for. All really easy, just popping up here on BookMine. Now, this Codecraft book also looks pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and also take a screenshot of that. Again, zoom into the keeper graph here. Currently, we're at a price right here, which appears to be maybe $23, somewhere around there, $22. It's actually going down in price as well. It's actually going down, and so it's undergoing what's called a repricing war, which is when you have multiple booksellers on the listing, usually bulk booksellers that have repricers that are competing against each other and stair-stepping down. So that's kind of what you'll see if you actually open the keeper graph. Let me show you. So yeah, you can see in the keeper graph, let's get rid of the buy box. You see how this is like a stair step down? Like you could imagine like a little person walking down this like a staircase. That's because, you have two bulk booksellers repricing against each other after, X period of time, probably, a couple hours or something. And essentially this book, which was selling in the 30s is now down here to, under 20. But again, same sort of principle. We're seeing this book with sales at 40, sell at 100, a bunch of sales at 40 as well. And again, always look kind of at the long-term historical selling data. This book looks a lot better if you look at just maybe the last 6 months, or if you look at its entire history, it doesn't look that great. And obviously looking, back in the past should influence your decision. Although generally we tend to think that the most recent 6 months is probably a better indicator of where the book's at now, but definitely still look at this book in the past as well. Now, right below that, we have what looks to be almost like a novel, I believe. And again, same sort of concept here. Let me take a screenshot and we're gonna zoom in here again. Again, here's the price at what looks to be about $25. All of these sales that happened here are above 50 bucks. Maybe some sales here at 35, which is still above kind of what today's price is. And then looks like we have potentially a few sales at 50, maybe a few lower there as well. Now, let me know, guys, this is kind of something new that I've recently started doing, which is using this sort of, screenshot paint method to try to illustrate the topic maybe a little bit easier. I don't know if it's actually easier. Again, I was formerly a teacher. As a teacher, you try new things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So let me know in the comments if you like that or if you think it's actually super distracting. It doesn't help at all. It doesn't hurt my feelings. My goal is just to help you guys all be better booksellers, help you all win, help you buy better books and make money. That's my goal. Now we keep scrolling down. Again, a very similar concept here for this book. This is Art to Wear. And again, it looks like today's price right here is at 36 bucks, or actually, yeah, $30 plus shipping. And again, look at all these sales. Basically, all these recent sales happened at about $80 to $90. So you're looking at a book that's about a third of what maybe a third to a fourth of what it was selling for in the recent past, which is pretty cool. And again, we're just on the first page, right? This is the first 25 results of 250 books. And again, not every book is going to be a home run winner, but a lot of these books are pretty great. Again, here's another one that looks pretty great. So you can see today's price is sitting here right around $50. So there's the current price. If we look at the most recent historical sales, looks like that happened maybe at 80. These happened right around 100. These happened right around 100. These happened right around 80. And so the point again is that we want to be buying the book below what it normally sells for. So, we're not trying to do anything fancy. We're just trying to understand, or trying to find a book when it is priced at a point where all we need to do is sell it for what it normally sells for to make money. Like the example, Victor and I gave at the Books and Beyond conference was, we're trying to identify intrinsic value of a book, trying to identify what does a book normally sell for. And the example was like, hey, a lot of people understand what a Coke sells for. Like a Coca-Cola sells for, generally $1.50 at a store. And the way we know that is that there's a lot of history. Like we see people paying $1.50 for it. Like that's also what stores are charging. And so there's a bunch of evidence that we collect of past history that, hey, people pay $1.50 for a Coca-Cola. So all we're trying to do is pick up a Coca-Cola for like 60 cents or 70 cents and then turn around and offer it or sell for $1.50 because we know people are willing to pay that. And so we make money off the difference between those two, between the margin there. So again, we can just keep scrolling down. Now, things like this, for example, are things that you would want to definitely look into keep a little bit more. This appears to look really great because of the fact that, hey, the current price is down here at looks about $9, right? And you can see the most recent sales of this book all happened above 25, even maybe closer to 30 there. But you also see for a very long period of time, basically, December, January, all the way till May, this book was priced at lower than what we could buy the book for now, and it doesn't really look like it was selling. So maybe this is a seasonal book, and that's why you'd want to kind of open it up. And just from first glance, this looks like a textbook. And if we look at the historical selling data over its long history, it was kind of a fluke, right? That this book was selling in the 28s and 30s. That's generally not something that happens to this book. On the same hand, though, that's when this offer count was the lowest, which is probably the reason why that had occurred. But this is a book that I wouldn't pick up. But again, this is a book you'd want BookMine to find. You want to find a book that's significantly below what it's recently been selling for. That's what BookMine is supposed to do. It just happens that if you look a little bit further back in history, it doesn't really appear to be a great performing book. Now, this book right here is incredible, and I've actually sold this book for this book, which is Saying No to Vaccines. I want to say I sold this book for right around $200. And you can actually pick this book up for $54. So again, let's illustrate that point. So we have this book sitting currently at a price here, which is $50. And we have basically all of the recent historical sales happening at $80 or more, sometimes even over $100. And we can even look further in the past, around $150 or more. Let's actually look at the Keeper graph to do a little bit of a deeper dive into its past history to see if it holds historical value significantly above what its price is today. I mean, certainly it has this whole year, but let's see if that's true. Yeah, I mean, absolutely true. You can basically go at any year over the last 4, 5, 6 years, and you could have done amazing on this book. I mean, sales range drops at 150, even sales range drops at 200. Even a long period of time where this book was out of stock, but even sales range drops at 400. Again, my guess as to why this book all of a sudden started selling so much was that Amazon went out of stock, because Amazon used to be in stock for $30. And then this also happened during COVID. And again, we're not political here, we sell books. But the point is that during COVID, right, some people wanted to get vaccinated, other people didn't. Again, we're not, this channel isn't about politics. But the point is, there are people out there that might be looking for this book that is Say No to Vaccines, which is what might be a reason why it was selling more than it did previously, or for a lot more money than normal. But that's a book that is sitting for $50. I mean, I go to the Amazon listing, there it is. There's actually only one in stock. It's from a seller here, an Amazon FBA bookseller for $50. And yes, I mean, the most recent sale happened, it looks like a day ago at $109. And so we're looking at an awesome book there. And so you can just go on and on and on through multiple pages. Again, basically that was just the first page of just awesome book after awesome book. And I'm just seeing more of the same thing as I go here. I mean, we even find books that are really valuable. Like this looks like a book that's been selling for $400 and now it's sitting here at $229. The book about George W. Bush. And so anyways, this video is just going to keep dragging on, but all I wanted to let you guys know is that we added this profit meter to BookMine to make it even easier for people to buy books. So if you guys are interested, you can trial a free 10-day trial of BookMine. And yeah, it's an awesome tool. We've got a lot of people in the private Facebook community group where Victor and I are just really trying to help support people. Our goal, Victor and I said this year, is to try to get 50 people to become six-figure Amazon FBA online book arbitrage sellers. And that means try to get 50 people to $100,000 in revenue over this next year. So that's our goal within the BookMine community. Certainly you can do it with just Keepa, but this is just an easier way, especially if you're struggling. So I certainly love using BookMine because you saw how easy it was to find incredible books. You don't have to go through Keepa product finder filters. You don't have to go through Keepa deals. A large majority of the junk is already kind of thrown out for you. So it's just kind of like a time saver. And so depending on where you're at in your journey, it may make sense or may not make sense. I actually don't recommend BookMine to most people who are new. I also don't recommend BookMine to a lot of people who are just trying to build capital, right? Because, our software is not our software is definitely very valuable, and so that's why we charge a good amount for it. And if you don't have a lot of capital to spend money, it doesn't really make sense. I would recommend like using Keep a Deals. I'd recommend still cherry picking and thrifting. But eventually you'll get to a point where you will start building enough capital where you're going to want to buy back your time. And so that's why you'd want the software, because this is really easy for you to find books quickly. And so that becomes very valuable. One thing that I've learned over time as I've gotten older is that kind of money and time are the same thing. So if you're saving time, you're saving money. If you're saving money, then you can also buy back time. So they kind of go hand in hand. Anyways, hope you guys have, a great day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.